Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you? Hope you guys had a great weekend. We've now reached part three of our Pythagorean theorem unit, and it is finding the distance. So our objective for this lesson is students will be able to find the distance between 2 points using the Pythagorean theorem. All right, so I've created a few steps for you. I want you to pause the video and jot down these steps. I hope you paused the video. All right, so step one, draw a right triangle from one point to the next. Step two, count the boxes. Count the boxes. So you want to look at the vertical distance and the horizontal distance, and I'm gonna model this for you. In step three, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the unknown side, which is going to be C in this example, or it's always going to be C. Now, before I even get in too deep into this, do not confuse this with slope. That is one of the biggest misconceptions that students make is they'll see the grid and they'll automatically start thinking slope. So the big key to this is you want to pay attention to what the verbiage on the problem says. If the problem says find the distance between one point to the next, do not use the slope formula. Okay, again, if the problem is saying distance, do not use the slope formula. All right, so step one was to draw a right triangle from one point to the next. Now, y'all know Mr. George is not any good at drawing straight lines, but I'm gonna do the best I can. All right. So, what do I mean by right triangle? So, uh, boom, and boom. I guess. You know what? I think one thing. You know what, guys? I tell you what. I think it'll be easier to use a different tool for this unit. So that you assure that your lines are straight. And I'm going to change this, my screen. Yeah, I just changed my screen. Y'all didn't see it because I paused the video. But I'm going to select this add a line tool. That way I can make sure that my line is kind of straight. And all I'm doing is I'm kind of making a little right triangle. Now, of course, that's not as straight as it can be, but it's better than what Mr. George would have drawn. So step two is count the number of boxes, the vertical distance and horizontal distance. So if you're looking here, the distance between this point and this point is 1. There's one box in between there, okay? So that would be 1. Now, how many is in between here? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the vertical distance would be 10 and the horizontal distance will be 1. Remember, do not do rise over run and put this into the slope formula. Don't do that. That's not what we're doing. We're using the Pythagorean theorem. So we know that A is 10, B is 1, and we're looking for C. And I told you guys, whenever we're finding distance, we're always going to be looking for C. So that will be A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, so A squared, that's going to be 10 squared plus B squared is 1 squared. 1 squared equals C squared. Now sometimes what happened is you guys will run out of space and your problem will look like that. If it runs out of space and it looks like that, just widen this because I want everything on one line. Okay, we know that A squared is 10 squared is 100 plus 1 squared is 1 equals C squared. Okay, one thing that I've noticed in your work is you'll add 101 and you'll do 101. Um, I'll leave that part out. So that means 101 equals C squared. Now here's the final part, and we're going to take the square root of C squared and the square root of 101. Okay, that cancels out, and I'm actually going to use my my online calculator to do the square root of 101, and the answer is 10.5. So I'm gonna grab my text box, and I know that C equals 10.05. I said 10.5, but it's 10.05. Let's work another one. Let's work another one. So here you'll see example 2 here. Draw my straight line. Make sure you go all the way over till it's directly up under the other dot, and I'm gonna draw another straight line going down. Boom and boom. It's actually a pretty good triangle I drew. Let's count the horizontal distance. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The vertical distance is 5. So I know that A is 5, B is 7, and I don't know what C is. Remember, I told you guys, whenever we're looking for distance, we're always going to be looking for C. Okay. Oh, I put a 2. My bad, y'all. Hey, y'all, Miss Potts just walked in. You want to say hi, Miss Potts? Miss Potts is not going to say anything. She's going to remain anonymous. Okay, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, so we know A is 5, so there's going to be 5 squared. Can't find my button. Plus B squared, which is 7. Here's my button. And that equals C squared. All right, we know that 5 squared is 25 plus 49 equals C squared. All right, so now we have 25 plus 49. I'm not going to act like I'm Mr. Know-It-All Math. I'm going to use this calculator. And it tells me that that's 74, and then the square root of 74 is 8.60. So I'm going to actually show those steps. So that's 74 equals C squared, okay? And then remember, you have to take the square root of both sides. Square root. Now, I want you all to please take note that I've already solved for the square root of 74, but I am still showing my work. My expectation is that you all show your work. Don't just put work on there. I need to see every step, and I just showed you guys 8.60. I did that at the calculator a second ago. So that's C equals 8.60. All right. So, I mean, guys, that's it. This is actually extremely, extremely simple. But that's that's using the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between the 2 points. Please remember the misconception that I noted for you. Do not, if the problem says distance, do not do rise over run and say, oh, the distance is 5/7. No, don't do that. That's not what this is. Read the problem. If the problem says distance, use the Pythagorean theorem to find it. If it says slope, rate of change, or any of those other ones, then use the slope formula. Y'all thought I forgot about that. Nope, it's coming back. You better get ready because I might put the... Pop, here you go. That is going to be on your next test, which is probably going to be coming up soon. But hey, that's it for this one. Listen, man, go ahead and work on that, and I will meet you guys in the kick.